Hampus. Salutations.
Bienvenue.
Ooh, them flirty words, bro.
Yeah, bruv. Very common.
Bruv. Very common. Where are you coming to? Isn't that weird?
Welcome,
It's like Dutch and German and Russian sounds threatening sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's like, we're coming. It's like, we're coming. Where you coming to, bro? Chill. It's like, where you coming from, bro? We don't want them hands. You know? We're coming. Okay, chill. Schmackalik. It's a machine gun butterfly.
There's
Just
a lot
chill.
of ich.
Ich bin. But anyway, Kevlar Kiss, Dr. Love, Just Cruising, episode.
This one.
just AI episode 45. Just like that. But anyway, episode this one. So today's conversation is random again. Actually, I like the random stuff, you know.
Yeah, me too.
I like the randomizers because everyone is too kind of panicked and worried about what's to be said, what's not to be said. What I also seem to see, this is a big up myself care situation, is that a lot of times I see a lot of people doing videos and they do this all the time. The hands are here and there's also
Okay.
so they will say 3 lines and then 4 lines and even when the video is edited, you still see the first thing. Let me give you a game. If you're doing a live recording, if you're doing any kind of talk, whatever you're doing, stop saying That's what you do. You pause for effect. You pause for effect. So I have a line to say. I say, oh, in the beginning there was God. It was the Word. If the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, nah. You go, in the beginning was the Word. Pause for effect. And the Word was God. Pause for effect. That's how you do it. Also, you don't do. I see this for the past 4 years. I've been seeing this. People that they're standing and they're doing this. They're doing this, dude. Talk with your hands. Feel free. Do the Bill Clinton thing. Not get some head from Monica Lewinsky. Stop it. Dirty mind. See your life. I can smell it from here.
Don't get some head and not smoke no weed. That's not what he means.
Drugs is bad. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So how Bill Clinton did when he was running for elections, right? He did the hand thing very well. He did the hand gestures. People don't realize it. I read body movements, right? Easily. So how he did was he made you think he was speaking from the heart. Here's how. He would say a word, or have a sentence. In a sentence, he would go, say, and a sentence had like 7, 8 words. The third, fourth word, he would touch his chest, his heart. Then talk, 5th and 6th, point towards you. So you're saying, oh, from my heart to you, from my heart to you, from my heart to you. Very powerful. Subtlety.
Powerful, yeah.
The small things.
Because your subconscious is processing.
There you go. And he was not a person. Now, on the flip side of it, there have been a few people that have used that idiocy or stupidity to their advantage to make you think they're fools. But they make you think they're a fool to catch a bigger fool. George Bush Jr.
I knew you were thinking of him. That's literally who popped into my head.
Brilliant!
That's literally who popped
On
into
first
my
take,
head.
I just thought this man's an idiot.
Yeah.
He got his job because of his dad. No. When I watch him again, genius level intellect, smart, even up to when he meets other presidents, other people, the handshake, the power gestures, power. His power gestures were so subtle. I have to play it in slow motion.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and study
And
now.
point and go, oh look, even in the handshake, mister, He made sure his thumb was over
Make
like
sure he
that
got
always.
the
So
stronger
that's
advantage.
that advantage over there.
Yeah, it's not neutral. So
It's
he
not.
would have,
It's actually this is neutral.
yes, neutral, but he would twist
He
it.
would have this thumb over like that, but while grabbing hard and dude.
Interesting.
But that small thing, that's taught. That's powering. And even with the positioning of the cameras, he would make sure, say I did over there, he would make sure the cameras that are shooting, he is the one,
would capture
the
that
camera would
power.
capture his hand on the outside. Small things that you would never even have known, like I said it to you today. That's why I talk about power. I don't like talking about relationships, finances, stuff. I talk about relationships and finances based on power. I talk about your movement based on power. I talk about your speeches based on power. I talk about the way you dress based on power. Why? Power is everything. You are a fool if you are not walking in power. Therefore, you assume that everyone around you is not doing a power move on you. Example. In Japan today, there's the whole, what's it called? Friendship marriage?
Yeah, I mentioned it's
Right.
starting to become popular now.
Yes. Men don't know this. It's a female power move against men. It is. That's power. I don't care how you feel about it. That's power.
It makes perfect sense because the benefits of that relationship would suit her more than it's going to suit him.
There you go. In Japan today, the men aren't getting married, don't want to get married, don't bother. They've actually minimized the houses. So
This has made them smaller.
no, the men today would choose to live in a hostel.
Wow.
Yes, live in a hostel because what happens is most Japanese workers, they after work they go to the sake bar with their bosses. So for the typical Japanese man, you're working morning to night, work morning to evening time. After that, you need to go to the bar or blah blah with the bosses. It's the meeting after the meeting, because it happens everywhere in life. Is that for you to get promoted in a workspace, you need to hang around with everyone else. You cannot be a recluse and then not get promoted. It's why some people just, what do? They go to work late. So that, say if you're working 9 to 5, they get to work at 9 a.m. That's late to me. If you're working 9 to 5, you go to work at 9 a.m. and you leave at 5 p.m. or 5:01, 5:05, you leave at 5 p.m. Newsflash, you are not going to get promoted. Guess who gets promoted? The person that works 9 to 5 but gets to work at 8:30, 8:45. The one and leaves at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Or we're going to blah 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 bar on Friday. Do you want to come?
Yeah.
Yes, please, I'm going to be there. That person gets promoted quicker than you do.
Yeah. I've seen it.
It happens. To an extent, it's not the work you do, it's the work you do. It's not the work you do, it's the work you do.
It's the one that's like having lunch with the managers.
Yes.
The one that's sitting with the managers. The one that's like talking to the managers. Oh, how was your weekend? And blah,
It's
blah,
not
blah.
kiss-assery.
And it's not. Well,
There
sometimes it is, but I mean, it works.
I know.
At the end of the day,
It's game.
it's a game.
That's game. What are you there for? You think about it. What are you there for? Just go and make your pennies and go. No problem. But if you're looking at power dynamics, that's power. You get to work earlier, you leave later. It's simple as that. Get to work earlier. Oh, if you can't leave later, get to work earlier. Simple. Leave on time. When you can leave later, leave later. There's a work due, stay for the work due. For an hour, half an hour, you have to. That's game.
I used to hate those work dues.
Well, work they hate you too, but they recognize that you are willing and able to, add a bit more into it.
No, this is game though.
Game.
This is game. I'm thinking of a few of my friends who are in that
Game.
world still.
You understand? So the Japanese men do that, and what do they like today? They like their video games. They like the online chats. They like their manga. They like the manhwa as well. Now manhwa is a new thing. Like the manga, they like the manhwa, they like the pornography, they like the sex dolls. It's everything except the woman.
Wow.
That's their comfort.
Oh, there's 3. You can get like a virtual girlfriend and stuff.
Ah, thank you. And they've also now like the virtual girlfriend too. There you go. You can't make this thing up. So they've all gone, what's the benefit of doing that now? The same thing happens now. So in the same town, same country. You see how you have those people that when they're young they go, oh, we're friends now, right? Blah blah blah. If we get to a certain age,
I literally know someone I've heard say this. Go ahead.
there you go. We're best friends. We're homeboy, homegirl, besties for life. Besties. If we get to a certain age and we are not seeing somebody, let's get married. Is that not the same thing?
It's literally like a romantic comedy,
Rom-com.
thing. Like you've seen this in some sort of cheesy rom-com. It's like, well, if we're both left on the shelf, how about we just marry each other?
Left on the shelf. That's what it is. Will and Grace, whatever and whatever, same thing. It's not new. Because it's been announced in a certain country in this year does not mean that it just got invented. It's been happening for forever and ever. It's always the slim pickings, the one that no one else wants. That's what it is. No one else wants them. You know, if people wanted you, they would have picked you a long time ago. So there's something that's wrong with her and no one wants her, and there's also something that's wrong with him and no one wants him, and they both know that. But you know what? I've known it for a long time. Why is it like
Do you know what it is? English people beat around the bush so much. I love hanging with people who are just real, just say it like it is, no sugarcoating.
What do you want to do? Slap me? Slap me now. I'll tell you the truth, regardless. That's what
Nobody
it is.
wants him. Nobody wants her.
That's it. Like everyone, I don't know. I know everyone else is afraid of
hurting people's feelings,
offending
being
people.
offensive.
This guy, I'm gonna be offensive. If you don't like what I'm serving, that's your problem. I think on a daily basis, I tend to tell people what it is, and legitimately, genuinely, my first step, I try to be nice.
Okay.
I always the first move I make, generally, I try to be nice. Keyword is try. Very important to know. I try to be nice. Here's why. When I try to be nice and you don't get the gist the first time, niceness gone now. It's game over. It's like now. It's like, okay, I tried to be nice, but you weren't playing up. You're gonna get this work. That's what I do. Standard. I try to be nice first, and I go, okay, I say it nice way, this, not condescending, nothing funny. Your response to me, it will determine my response to your response. There are consequences to your actions. So if you're nice to me back, I'm like, oh, okay, good, we can do nice, no problem. You're trying to be funny, smart, lewd. It's not by force. It's not by force. You're going to get this work. Simple. So yeah, that Japan thing is real. It's been going on for a long time. You know you're insufferable as a woman. You know you are unattractive as a man. But you've been together for so long. It's part of that whole sexless marriage thing.
That's what I was going to say. Well, 2 things. One is there are a lot of marriages which function on the same level as that anyway, where there is just companionship and there's no sexual intimacy.
How did I get there though?
I'm not in their marriages. Why are you asking me? How? The only way I see that happen is if...
Wrong!
You're gonna say that anyway.
You know that. Go
So
on.
I'm gonna just speak regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Go on,
Because you're a
shoot.
disagreeable chap. So
Thank you, sir.
no, you're welcome.
Much appreciate.
Yeah, I know you
This
appreciate
kid's
that.
watching this, so I can't say motherfucker.
So
Sorry. Oh, I just said
you can't say what now?
motherfucker. Oh, she just sent me to the again. Damn it.
The only way I see that happening is if the man allows himself to be in a situation where that can take place.
Wow. What does that mean, sir?
I think I'm comparing it to myself.
Don't.
Yeah, this is the thing, because the way I function is not the way everyone else functions. I just know I would never be in that situation because it wouldn't be acceptable to me. And I think there are a lot of men who are sort of almost held hostage by the power of sex. And sex becomes this sort of bargaining chip. But if you don't allow that from day one, then you're not going to find yourself in that situation later.
When is day one? I like what you said there. When is day one?
Day one for me begins
Marriage day one?
No, when you first connect with the woman.
Okay. That's excellent. I like that. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh really? You're not
Yes.
disagreeing? Alright, go ahead.
The sexless marriage begins before marriage.
Yeah.
It begins before marriage. It begins when one of us is the person that determines when we can and cannot have sex. That's it. Example.
Cook.
Example. We're not gonna have sex till I get married. Okay. And then we get Mumu. Idiot with H. You know? So the sexless marriage begins before marriage. It begins from we're not gonna have sex until we get married. Okay. And that's the promise. You put a ring on it, I'm gonna give you sex anytime, anyhow, anywhere you want. Do you have any idea what that looks like? I got you. It looks forced. Because remember, she gave a word, right? So once you get married, the first, I don't know, couple of years or so, she's like, okay, because you want sex every day. Like, yeah, I finally got that. Yeah, I have sex legally now. You understand? So you want it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every day, whenever you want it, you want it. She doesn't. Because if she found you attractive like that, she would never say to you, we're gonna have sex whenever I do. Because if she finds you attractive, she will throw it on you any time. You don't have to ask her. She's begging for it. Does that make sense?
Just looked into the camera. Yes, it does.
Exactly. So that's a telltale factor. It's a telltale factor. You have to understand that reality is that if you are asking your woman for sex all the time, you're not her first choice.
She doesn't want to have sex with you.
If
it could
she's
be different
not
reasons. It could be that your sex is trash as well. That's another thing.
Nope. If you were her first choice and your sex is trash, she'll still do it with you. Because she chose you.
Okay, so I've got another one, playing devil's advocate. How about the couples together, they are having sex. I remember someone I know who's in this situation many years ago. So before they had sex, before they got married, they had tons of sex, and it was, wherever. Could be a quickie, could be a long thing, whatever. But it was on. And then once they got married, the amount of sex began to reduce, like, a lot.
And they got kids.
Actually, they didn't have kids. They didn't have kids. And then it became this thing where it was almost like she went from seeing herself as girlfriend to wife, and so then it was like she wanted, like, longer foreplay and blah, blah, blah. And one time we were talking and he was really frustrated because he said, I can do all of that. I can do all that. I'm gesturing more now thanks to your tips, my friend. He said, I can do all of the foreplay thing, but he said, sometimes I just want to smash. Just get to it. And he was really frustrated, bless him, at the time. What are your thoughts on those situations? Because I think there are a lot of men who think it's always going to be the way it is now. Like, PJ said something to me once. He said, men get married or get into relationships thinking that women are not going to change, and women get into relationships or marriages with men thinking they are going to change.
Yeah,
Shout
true.
out to PJ. Wise words.
Very true. Right. It's just
Go on then.
Right. If you are not the one, the sex will decrease naturally.
I had a feeling you were going to go here.
If you're not the one, the sex will decrease naturally. If you are not the one, the more you give her what she wants, the less sex she's gonna get. So, I got you. Before the engagement, before the ring, you get sex 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Once you put a ring on it, you get sex 6 days a week. Once you get married, you get sex twice a week. For starters.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then it declines and declines. Now, once you have kids, once you have one child, it declines. It's simple. Once you have one child, it declines. And you're only going to have sex when she's ovulating, which is one period of a month.
Mm-hmm.
Because she wants to have another kid. That's if she comes from a big family of many kids. So, for example, if there's a family of, say, 4 children, she's now automatically programmed to want to have 4 children or 3 children. It's programming. It is what it is, right? Yes, I say what I say. If you don't like what I'm saying,
And you're saying this is all happening because you're not the one.
you're not the one. Most of us were never a first choice. Or a second or
That's
third or fourth
deep,
choice.
isn't it?
That's it. You want the truth?
I've thought
That's the
about
truth.
that. That is deep.
You're never a first, second, or third choice. At all. You're not the one. You are not the one. But you're the one right now.
You're the one she could get.
You're not Mr. Right, you're Mr. Right now. Yeah. But that's a reality that we don't want to talk about. It's
so
hurtful.
deep.
It doesn't sound
so
nice.
deep. You're not that guy.
You're not him.
You're not him.
You're not, like, literally,
Wow.
You're not Mr. Right, you're Mr. Right now. And it's cool. Once you walk in without understanding, you're fine. It's called
Once
you walk in without understanding, you're fine. It's called brace for impact. Because you will know.
Truth is brutal, man.
If you are Mr. Right now, things come and go as is. No, we can't do blah blah until we're married. No, we have a headache. This you know, and you spend more time doing fancy stuff than real things. You spend more time doing external things than internal things.
Which makes sense
spend
because
more
you've
time-
got to compensate for the fact that you're not that guy.
Yes. So you spend more time partying, clubbing, out drinking, but less time sitting down together and bonding.
So when you see, this is so interesting because, therefore, when you see these couples that are doing all this mad extravagant stuff, in most cases,
It's not him.
It's because it's not him.
It's not him.
I quite like that theory, actually.
It's not him. 1 and 2.
I quite like that theory
She's his boss.
Because if he is the one, she's gonna enjoy being around you so much that, like, just being around you
She's
is
afraid
enough.
to share you with the world. Let's just stay indoors together and just huddle. You're my precious. Precious.
I like that one. You got some interesting theories. That one's really good.
I've got many. I'm not done. My guy. There's more where that came from. That just is what it is. It is what it is. It is how it is. You can like it. Don't care.
I mean, the fact that most of us are not that first choice, and most of the people we'll be with are not that first choice, that's some real medicine right there, man.
Now, what's mad
That's
is
some real medicine right
the first
there.
choice thing is a female thing, not a male thing. It's not a male thing, because women generally have their concept of wedding day, marriage, wedding, bells, or they already have it in their head. They just want you to just wear the suit and just show up. Men don't. I've always said this. Women have their own concept of their wedding day before they met you. You see my point?
Yeah, I remember you saying
They
this.
have their own concept of what their wedding day should look like before they met you. So I tell guys, like, ask her what her wedding is like. She's got the whole thing. The flowers, the carpets, the this, the that, and then you. So all she wants is just
before
she met you. And men are so wired in not wanting to be alone. They don't see the whole picture. Fat ass. My car just want me to see fat ass in the
You
way.
got a sensor for fat asses in your car.
You're damn right.
I like that.
Michael Knight kit. Knight Rider, baby. So yeah, that's that. It's sad. It's unfunny. It's our reality. But that's our reality. Men don't have that situation about them. Men don't have that thought of, okay, I want my wedding to be like this, look like this, have this, not do this, have that. We don't have that. We don't think that way. We don't function that way at all. We meet somebody today and we like her for who she is, not for what she can do for us. You're good. That's why a lot more you see a lot more relationships of right. Oh gosh. A lot more men date women without money. A lot less women date men without money. The women that you see who date men who don't have money, or men who are broke, or men who have nothing, or men who basically have no ambition, they have a maternal complex about them. They have a I want to be a mother complex. So what happens is they are attracted to boys.
Who they can nurture.
Yes, men who have boyish nature, who they can nurture. And those kind of men, they avoid men like the plague. They avoid men who are by themselves like the plague easily, because they don't want to grow up, because
He's going to be challenged by a man.
because for men who are in their, well, quote unquote manhood or manliness, life's not easy, and the man is a constant reminder that even though life's not easy, I've got this. There's no room for complaint. Get it done. But when you have the boy, when she has the boy, what she does is she has someone that can complain, and she does the mommy thing. It's okay, baby, mommy will fix it for you. So now comes the dependency.
And she's secure in that situation.
And she's secure because that's her way of controlling the young lad. Remember what I said, power dynamics. Power is everything. So what most guys don't see that is that every chance you give your woman, she will take it to try and take power from you.
Yeah, that reminds me of something Patrice said. He mentioned at a certain point his diabetes started to get worse and worse, and so his girlfriend, in the guise of assisting him, started to be, oh, have you had your medicine yet today? Have you, all these kinds of things where you could see it was like I don't even know if it was a conscious thing, but it's like it was a leverage. I think a lot of this stuff is unconscious, but it started to become part of a sort of a power dynamic where, yeah, she was gaining power as he became more dependent upon her, as his health was declining.
Patrice O'Neill basically was a comedian, very famous comedian and a radio host who passed away unfortunately a few years back because he had a diabetic situation. But anyway, oddly enough, he passed away when he started speaking truth. So let's not go into that one. He was a comedian who was very, very famous for speaking his mind.
Wise man.
Which, regardless of how society saw it, he spoke what was necessary to be said. Yeah. So the going back to the wedding thing, the friend wedding thing, it happens a lot. That it's going to be another sexless marriage, which turns into cocking. So for those who don't know what that word is, C-U-C-K, by the way, C-U-C-K-I-N-G, cuckolding, cocking. It's when the wife is having intimate relations with a someone else other than the husband. So when the wife is having an intimate relations with somebody else and the husband is watching, it's a thing. It's not spoken of, because I think what happens with the way the world is today is, if it's not on YouTube, it doesn't exist. If it's not on Instagram or X, Twitter or TikTok, it doesn't exist. No, it's a thing almost as old as time. Is that there have been for a very long time a lot of, again, friend relations, whereas the husband is constantly watching the wife being railed and plowed by the kind of men the wife wants.
Yeah.
And you see it, and you can tell the great divide. This is her type of man. She likes this kind of men. She goes out there, chats the man up, pays the man to do it, and the husband is in the same room, sitting down watching. That's what happens. Yep. Because in his mind, it's like, oh, I just want you to be happy. As long as you love me, I'm happy for you. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, man. Subcultures, cultures inside the cultures.
Yeah. So a lot of I know this. A lot of brothers.
That's called a hot wife.
A lot of black men will tell you their stories. A lot of black men have experienced cuckold in one way or another. Whereas, like, you get the woman approach him, and want to have an ongoing relation with you, with the black guy, and her husband can watch. Dude.
Yeah.
Happens a lot more than you can imagine. It's just that, it just is what it is. I think most of these situations, they have like an NDA clause. It's not an NDA that this happens in here, doesn't go out. So it's not spoken about, it's not talked about.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of those worlds is someone might be a bank manager or a politician or whatever, and interestingly, the majority of people are from those kind of strata of society. It's not what's his name from a council estate getting to those kind of events.
Yes,
it's successful people, so it's in everyone's interest to maintain a level of privacy when it comes to that stuff.
Now check this out. In those situations, who wins? She does. Everything that happened is for her. So why would you get married to this man who didn't want to get married in the first place, when all you're doing is you're going to just make him suffer and torture him and make him go through all this pain and nonsense just because?
Well, some of those men get off on that stuff, But go ahead.
Nothing they do,
The thing is,
I don't think they do.
I think there's different strokes for different folks, and I think there's a level of masochism.
You're playing on words. What's wrong with you? Different strokes, you know.
Not my stroke, bruv. Not my stroke at all.
Wow.
It's an interesting word
Different
choice.
different strokes for different folks. Charlie, hey.
Different strokes for different folks.
Legit.
And my man here's got the jokes. But listen, the reality is some people get off on to some degree on some of that madness. It's nuts to me. It's nuts to you.
Nuts. Hey, play on words.
Okay, this is you now.
This guy.
You're going too far.
You're just dropping bars every 5 seconds.
You're going too far.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it's not something I can relate to. But like I say, everyone's into their own thing, man. I think there's a scale in terms of whatever you want to call it, sexuality, deviancy, or whatever.
Deviancy.
The deviancy scale.
You know what?
How much of a deviant are you?
I see it as submission, as in you submit to what situation you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So you are an eagle that has been raised around chickens all your life.
Okay.
So you never fly. Because you never saw a real eagle, so you ended up in your whole life walking on your 2 feet on the floor like you're a chicken.
Okay.
And you die a chicken, which is what you never met a man to empower you. You never had a group of positive brotherhood to empower you.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
You were in your own circle being lonely. Because I know this today, 2024 today. A lot of women who know they're going to be single for life are beginning to hunt out those anime introvert men. The ones who don't go out.
It's going to be security for them. It's like a pension
yeah, you
plan.
go. The ones who don't go out, the ones who don't have friends, the ones who don't have a security.
Incel kind of vibes.
Not incel. Just the men who don't have a community.
Okay.
No celibates. Just they target the men. They go out and target the men that go, yeah, he hasn't got a brotherhood. He's by himself. He hasn't got friendship. He hasn't got a group of men who look out for him. So they go and target these men. And these men, bear in mind, they love their Lego, their anime, their whatever, all their toys. They never go out. And then they are so shocked. Oh my gosh, this hot girl, she's not hot. To me, to you, she's not hot. But to them, they've never seen a girl in real life. So anything that wears a skirt is hot to them. This hot girl wants me. So now, in his eyes, she's the prize. And she knows this. And she plays it to the extent. She bags him, tells him what to do. She gives him sex twice a month, if he's lucky. And every time he's trying to put his foot down, she gives him head. Because she knows how to get him. She's in charge, she's in power. The moment he tries to backtalk, she gives him head. And even when she does something stupid...
I love how specific your analogy is.
I'm that specific.
Go on.
It's happening today. And
go on.
She does something stupid, and he's trying to say, oh, you did this. She will find a way to flip it on him. It's your fault. You're the reason why I did it on him. And what does she do? No sex for him. And then it's just like, what did I do? Nothing. You opened your door in the first place. It was siren. That's what happens.
See, when you're giving that analogy, right? The woman I'm picturing in my head is one who has reached that point where she's had lots of experience in the world, and she's probably like had her fun, and he's not the one. Like we were talking about the one earlier. Obviously, he's not the one, but maybe he's the one she can get at that point.
He's not Mr. Right. He's Mr. Right now.
No, he's Mr. Right now. But I think the dangerous thing is, as you're saying, a lot of these young guys now are not having that exposure in terms of having relationships, having girlfriends, even having female friends. A lot of these guys now are so isolated in their day-to-day and how they experience the world they're just not prepared for the battlefield on any level. And
Battlefield,
when I
thank
think
you.
about it, and I talk about my friends, like over decades we've been having conversations, just unpicking things and talking about like different situations. And you know, I can remember times when I'd have these relationships with loads of arguments and all these kinds of things. So there's a sort of thing you have to go through in terms of learning how to navigate all of these situations.
Yes.
And if you're isolating yourself, if you're sitting around watching podcasts about things and watching other people live lives and just taking on these different ideas, but you're not getting those reps in terms of having the real situations, when you do actually get into relationships, you're going to be so far behind. Like, you could be a genius level intellect, you can have
she can tell
qualifications coming out your ears, yeah, exactly, but we're emotional creatures first
women
and
are social
foremost.
creatures as well.
Yeah, and she's going to be able to read and tell and pick up. Women will pick up on your insecurities quick.
2 seconds.
Quick.
Pow! Gotcha, bitch.
Like, women are so perceptive and so insightful. And what's interesting to me is when a woman respects you, the way she'll treat you versus when she doesn't. Like, if she doesn't respect you as a man,
Night and day.
she can be so ruthless. And again, I don't even think that's necessarily a premeditated thing where you're like, okay, I'm going to destroy this person.
Yeah, it's
Do you know what I mean? It's not planned, but
it's unconscious.
It's not planned, but oh man.
It's unconscious. Boom. She will have to hold herself back to not do it.
Literally. It's like if you have a cat and a cat sees a mouse or some shit. It's just like, it doesn't
Get
go,
him,
oh,
boy.
I'm going to attack this mouse. It's like an instinctive thing. So it's like, they just do, man. So it's like and it's whether it's weakness or strength that they're sort of confronted with.
Yeah. It's just
animal.
there.
It's animal. That's what it is actually. The animal analogy is really good. It's like an animal instinct. So.
Well, now what's more interesting here's what's interesting. As a man, if you meet a woman that respects you for who you are properly, you will no longer tolerate any woman that does not respect you.
Yes.
No argument,
Yes.
no conversation, no, it's nothing. No
Dude,
ifs, no buts.
This is my world
Maybes.
right now. This is my world right now. I've been having this conversation too.
It's that simple. It's like, no,
It just changes the
I'm
game.
good.
It changes the game.
Once you realize this is what
Like,
respect
oh,
feels like.
this is how I'm supposed to be treated.
Woo!
And I was wait a minute, I was putting up with
This nonsense, this ish right here, this,
literally smoking out the window, bro.
you know,
I've been the smoking out the window. Smoking out the window.
it's like this.
Paying a rent. It's crazy. It's so crazy because it seems almost like everything's backwards, right? Because you'll see some men, and I've seen this. Like, I remember walking down the road at one point last year, and I'm sure I've shared this here before, but this guy was just like, he was losing it. He was like, but I'm doing everything. He's like, I took you here, I did this, and da-da-da-da. And you can see this man is like at his wit's end, because he's been doing every single thing she asked him to do, and it was not enough. And like, he's screaming like this, and she's calm, bro. And you can almost see there's a little evil part of her kind of enjoying it a little bit, like, because it's like he's just a shambles in the street.
Do you know why she was calm? Because that was her. What's the one I used? That was her one final conversation. That was her. After this, I won't see you again.
It was cold,
He
bro.
didn't get it.
He's in the street. He's shouting. It's like the middle of the night. Do you know what I mean? He's drunk. She's a little drunk, but she's so like together. And I'm just like, bro.
Yeah, because she moved on. So she was with him until she found. Sorry, she was with him until the one she wanted her. Pay attention. She was with him until the one that she wanted wanted her.
Over that rule. That's PJ's as well. PJ, you're getting quoted, man.
It's monkey branching.
Yeah.
She was with him
It's
until
another term.
the one that she wanted her. Now what's interesting is the one that she wanted found no interest in her at all until that one found out that she's seeing someone. Now he's like, okay, now that she's not mine, now I'm interested. Dude,
Game is cold.
it's not. It's very East Enders.
The game is cold.
just
No,
that.
but that's literally how it works.
So he didn't want her because she wanted him. Now that he found that she's seeing someone, he's like, oh, okay, cool. And now I want you. And he knows doesn't want her. He just wants her for poon. And she goes, oh no, at least he's shown me more attention than yesterday. I don't need that guy anymore. She now dumps good guy for what she wanted in the first place. It is what it is.
So what do you say to the good guys? What do you say to the good guys who are like, oh, why do they always go for the assholes, and why don't they just want the good guy like me because I'm a good guy? Like, why do they always pick because a lot of these guys.
Because mommy raised you that way. Your mom raised you to fail. So yeah. Women don't do a good job raising men. They raise men to fail. They raise men to worship women. They raise men to idolize women.
Approval.
They raise men to seek women's approval. They raise men to put women first. They raise men to put everything down, but put women first. Do you know how? Here's how. Whatever you're doing, stop doing it. Go and do my cooking for me.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever you're doing, stop doing it. Go and shop for me. Whatever you're doing, stop doing that. Do that for me.
I had to unlearn all that stuff, man.
That's how women raise their sons to fail.
That is so spot on.
Yeah, it's not on purpose. It's not on purpose. It's not.
So spot on.
It's not on purpose at all.
Almost frightening.
But you don't know what you're doing. You don't see it. You don't see it.
I was talking to one of my boys, and we were both talking about the importance of having that time that is yours. Having those things that you do, and having that boundary where it's like, this is my time. I'm doing this. It's not a situation where you can just walk in and be like, oh, okay, blah, 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 and start chatting to me about whatever, or ask me to do something. Like, this is my time. And like you said, if you're not conscious, you will literally just drop whatever you're doing, and there was a time when I used to do that. And
you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You didn't know.
But if you're aware, you will start to realize, like, okay, that's a boundary that's being violated. Like, you haven't asked me, am I busy? You haven't asked me what I'm doing. Am I free? Am I even interested in hearing what you've got to say or what is happening right now? There's just an assumption. And again, a lot of this is unconscious. Maybe you've grown up in a situation where you've seen that happening as well, where your dad would drop everything and blah, blah, blah.
And remember, men are typically drawn to women who have their mother's features.
So they're replaying the same shit.
So what happens is, nice guy, quote unquote nice guy, is the one that puts down everything he's doing for her.
Yeah, drops everything. Changes plans.
And she now knows that you are him. So she knows that even if she doesn't give you sex, you're going to do what she wants, what she needs.
So she giving you sex for?
What's she giving you sex for? Why is it called a barter system when I'm going to get everything I want from you without giving you anything?
And the fact is, if the more sex she gives you, the less inclined you're probably going to want to be to do those things, whereas the less sex she gives you, the more value you're going to put on that sex.
But the guys don't realize it because you've been doing that all your life. I give an analogy today, is you can't ask a fish what water is. They were born in it. They don't know what water is because it's all around them. So saying this is someone who has not had the consciousness to go, hold on, what's happening? They would never understand it, and they will argue with you until death. No, it's not true. You're just a hater. You spent your whole life in it. You've been born in it. You will never understand it. Yeah, it's a thing. I know. Me just saying that, you're like, oh snap, that's a thing. Because you have the mental maturity to understand that reality is subtle.
I was born in the dark. You really adopted it.
I like that.
I was raised by women, so all of this stuff, it clicks, man. Like, you realize, like, oh,
Use that.
all those times, you know.
Yeah.
Get
I
up,
know.
go shop. Get this for me. Go downstairs and pick this. Like,
You know what I don't like seeing? I don't like seeing when women go shopping and they buy items that they can't carry. You go shopping without a car and it's only you, and then you have 6 bags.
go on.
What are you gonna do? Call your son.
Go on.
That's it. Same thing. Call your son to drop everything and come and help you. It's still programming. You're telling him again, whatever you're doing, drop everything important to you just for her. Don't do that. Because once you do that, you've told her that she's important, yes, but she's more important than you.
The challenge with that, though, is it's your mother, man. That's the challenge with it, because you've grown up with that authority. You've grown up seeking your parents' approval, and you have this dynamic where you're living in their home as well, right? So there's a level of, well, I'm telling you to do something, go and do it. Do you know what I mean? Some of us grew up in situations, I mean, I didn't really get hit like that, but some people grew up in situations where if there was any kind of back chat or disagreement, there would be physical consequences.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting how that programming can happen and does happen so early.
You
And
know,
without the awareness of it, it's just it's going to be ingrained in how you function, right? You're not going to.
you ask someone, did you have a good child? Did you have a great childhood? Yeah, I like my childhood. Okay, and you say to someone, you need to sort out your trauma before you have children. And they go, I have no trauma, I'm fine. And then you say, okay, would you like your kids to have the same life you had growing up as a child? And you say no. Trauma. There's some trauma there. And the thing about trauma is you don't know it's trauma. Your reaction to things, especially your unconscious reaction to things, is trauma sometimes. Trauma does not mean anxiety. It does not mean like, oh yeah, hammer to the head. No. It's the small subtleties, the nuances, the way you read a situation, the way you see something happen, the way your brain goes, oh, this is not right. Even when it's normal. Trauma.
Yeah, seeing stuff that's not there.
Yes.
Man.
That's trauma. You know, saying to someone, hey, I haven't left me in a week. Like you ghosted me. Like just text yourself. You ghosted me. Simple text. Then I get a phone call. I can't believe I ghosted you. Half-hour rant. That's trauma. See my point?
Yeah.
All the small things. Seeing what's not there, reading what's not there. That's trauma. Okay. We all live by the rules of the game we play.
These conversations are fire.
Yep. It's unfortunate. But here we are. So I don't feel bad for anybody at all. I don't at all. I go, man, wherever you are, wherever you're doing, there's a lesson there to be learned. Whichever part you land in, it's not permanent. It's temporary. You're there for a reason. You're learning something in there. It's a lesson to be learned. But if you go through the experience and you don't learn anything, you don't learn at all, you're gonna go through again and again and again. So if you're going through the same nonsense and you're not learning, you've got to pay attention to what you're going through, because there's something you're doing that's making that situation repeat itself.
Excellent point.
It's you, it's not them. So it repeats itself when you blame everybody else for what's happening to you. Once you accept that, hold up, this case is because I did. It's because I didn't.
Responsibility.
It's me, somehow, some way. I am the main factor of what's happening. Things change immediately.
That's such a key point, because it touches on the importance of responsibility. And there can't be any freedom until we take responsibility. And it also touches on the importance of really paying attention, because the alternative is to be the victim.
Yes.
And I see a lot of that nowadays, right? Oh, men are all like this, or women are all like this, and yada yada yada. When the reality is, there's people out there that are happy, right?
Easy.
There are people out there that are thriving. So if that's the case, that means it's possible for you to be in a good situation, whether that's your work or your relationship or whatever it is. So, yeah, excellent point.
Thank you, sir.
Once you start to notice those patterns, because I had to do that myself, and it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable to look and be like, drats. Drats, one of them old cartoon bars. Drats,
gasoline and
triple
Motley. Drats, double drats, double drats.
It's like I've done the same thing again. I'm having the same relationship with different people.
And you are in the same wacky races.
Man, and you're going around that same like NASCAR, just going around in circles, man. And you're like, I thought I worked this one out, and it's like, nah, you just kind of reached another level of the same nonsense.
Level 2.
Just level 2 of the same nonsense. It's like a little less nonsense, but still nonsense. But yeah, when you start paying attention, working on yourself, you change, the situations change.
So with all that, what's your idea on the friendship marriage thing?
I think they're going to become more popular. That's what I think. When I heard about it, I was like, this is the relationship of the future, to be honest.
Who wins?
Oh, who wins?
Yes, in that situation.
The woman wins, primarily because she's going to get attention and companionship. And then because it's platonic, she can also potentially go and have intimate relations with someone else. And she's probably going to be more attractive in a way because she's in some sort of relationship with someone. So it seems to me like the woman's going to be winning in that situation. Like, as a man, if you got to go and tell a woman, oh yeah, I'm in a friendship marriage, I'm married to this woman who I don't have sex with, I can't see how that's going to turn her on.
You're a loser. You're a waste man. You're nothing.
But this is what I mean. Imagine you tell your friends, oh yeah, this is my friendship wife.
Men can't do that. You know we can't do it. Men can't say.
Can you imagine?
You can't
that?
say, this is my partner that I don't have sex with.
This is my partner I just kind of live with.
And then when the woman says that's other women, it's a power move again. Because like, look what I did.
Yeah. This is exactly what I mean.
I got this fool to marry me, and he ain't getting no poon. Power move. Power. Just because you don't speak in power, does not mean that the world doesn't.
Man. They'd be like, oh, wait a minute, so you're getting all of the benefits of a husband?
The protection, providing protection, everything.
The attention,
the company,
the companionship, maybe even some financial whatever.
Yeah, providing, definitely. You know, and what does he get in return? My beauty and my company. Okay, quantify it. My beauty and my company.
Quantify it.
Put that in my account. My beauty and my... You're not speaking English. You're not understanding what I'm saying to you. You're not catching what I'm throwing at you.
Look at your life. Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. But I can see that becoming more popular. I definitely can. For all of these reasons we mentioned, because it doesn't seem to me that... I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a certain amount of number of men who I think are waking up to some of these things and are asking questions such as, okay, what's in this for me? Men are looking at... Less men are getting married, more men are looking at some of those things, but I don't think that number's going to offset the number who are becoming more and more just beta, you know?
The term "what's in it for me" is a better way to say what do you bring to the table.
Yeah.
It's a healthier way than saying what do you bring to the table. You see, what's in it for me? What's my gain from this? What do I gain from being in a relationship with you that I'm not gaining without you?
And that's a very valid question, which women ask all the time.
Oh, is it? Really?
This guy.
What?
This guy.
No way.
Yeah.
Man, I said swear down.
Swear down, bro. Facts.
Facts on facts. FAX, baby. Facts on facts on facts.
We've been asking that question from day one, but then I think that's partly because of how we're raised, right?
Yes. Again, mothers raise us to lose in the battle with women. Why? It's not on purpose. It's unintentional. They didn't know they were doing that, but they did it regardless. So yes, my son puts away everything just to satisfy me, and what I can do is, if he doesn't do what I say, I can guilt trip him. Yeah. Programming. Oh, you know I'm your mother. You know I'm going through all these things. You know my arthritis.
Wow, stop it, man. This is giving me PTSD.
Yeah, you got them right. I'm gonna keep doing that just to piss you off even more. You know I'm doing this. You know I'm doing. I carried you for 9 months, 10 months. This is the things that you get from me. Every Sunday, I make you soul food. Bro, truth talk, man. Game. Get mad.
My mum didn't do all of that, but there was definitely some guilt tripping a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Every mother guilt trips.
I think there's an element of like what tools do they have though in that situation? Because obviously they want to be able to guide you on some level, and the authority is different from a father's authority. Do you know what I mean? So
fathers mean to toughen you up because they understand how ugly the world is out there, and they know that you can't just go and marry somebody and then life gets better. They know you can't go and marry someone and then life is better. They want you to be the person that people want to marry, that life gets better. And how do you do that in this world? How do you become successful? By being tougher. So fathers generally tend to want to toughen you up, so that you can hit the world better than he did in his time. But the issue with that is many parents don't know how to teach. They're not skilled enough to teach that what needs to be taught. They've not broken it down enough to teach what needs to be taught. But guess what? They're doing the best they can do.
This is what I was going to say. Like, I was going to say there's no books for this, but there probably are lots of books for this.
Books help you on hints, but not everything. Because every child is different. Every adult is different. Every parent is different. Everyone is different. There can be guidelines to what to do, but you have to decide for yourself what's best for.
What's going to work for this child.
Yes.
And if you've never had effective guidance yourself from your own parents, then it's going to come down to your understanding as well as trial and error, I guess. Yes, it comes down to that, and also comes a more conscious effort to not, and a conscious effort to do. So you go, okay, I do not want to be my parents. Yeah.
So your natural responsibility, how your father responded to you, naturally. But then you go, no, chill. Don't do that. Be more sensible with your next action is. So you cannot just say, oh, because I was raised this way, therefore I'm not going to fight the system. You can fight what's within you. You can do better. You can do better.
Just following the same pattern.
Yeah. Yes.
That takes a certain amount of awareness, though.
Yeah. Find it.
This was good.
I know.
I'm gonna watch this again. Last week's was dope too.
Hold on. There's another question you asked me, right?
Did I?
I think so.
Oh yeah, well there were two. I don't know if we got time, but the two topics that I still had left over. One was the friendship marriage. I wanted to touch on that, and the other was assets versus liabilities in terms of our relationships. But I didn't think we had time.
Assets and liabilities.
Yeah, as in, is this person an asset or is this person a liability?
I like that. You
Me
want
too.
to make sure. Well, first off, you want to make sure you have a healthy circle. What's a healthy circle? Same thing you're just saying. Everybody in that circle has got to bring some kind of value to that circle. That's not it. So, value does not mean monetary or material value.
Mm-hmm.
It could be intrinsic. It could be a mental thing. It could be advice. It could be plumbing. It could be anything.
Yeah.
That's an asset. It doesn't have to be material at all. Well, it's basically whatever skill you have in life. Can you, as a person, use your skill to make your team better and others as well, which is what it is. So you yourself be an asset. Make sure you are contributing something in that team. It could be positive notes, it could be anything, but give.
Yes.
A liability is someone that just takes, doesn't give. That's that. And this goes for men and women. Men and women. Men who just take and don't give back, liability. Women who take and don't give back, liability. If you're not giving, if you're not contributing, if you're not making this space 1% better, you're not an asset.
Yeah.
If you're not an asset, you're a liability.
I agree, 1,000%. And it creates this imbalance. The interesting thing is the people who are on this take thing, they're usually thinking very short term.
They're very me focused.
They're me focused, and it's a sort of a win-lose dynamic they're creating, because in the short term they're getting without giving, so they think they're winning, right? They're like, oh, I'm winning, and it might look like that at first, but it's not sustainable. And I've seen people who've lived their lives like that, and what you find happens to those people is the story doesn't end well.
And you also know that they can't stay in a circle for long.
Yes, so you'll find they kind of, you'll be talking to them and they'll fall out with this person, and then some EastEnders type shit, like you said.
Because everyone else is the problem.
Everyone else is the problem. Like I've met people whose friendship circle changes every couple of years for these exact reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, look out for the signs. You know, those people you meet where you're like, what's going on? It's like, are they falling out with this person? They falling out with that person, and and their ex is this, and You start to
Everyone's a
notice.
problem except them.
You start to notice there's a bit of a pattern.
You're next.
You're gonna be on that list at some point in the future.
I know. See, that was easy. Anything else, sir?
Yeah, I just wanted to raise that because I think it's important to remember. And
It's very important. Trust me, it's very important. I like that with that. So that's important. Liabilities, again, like respecting, right? Once you've found someone that respects you, nothing else can top that.
I feel like we're gonna come back to that subject because my goodness, that's such a. It's like you can see the angels and the harps playing and stuff. Like that is, and that's not just romantic relationships. That's like all relationships. When you have that balance where it's like the energies give and take. It's just chef's kiss. All right, my brother.
All right. Kevin Kiss, Dr. Love. It's been emotional. Also, thank you.